Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Guild Wars 2. Today I'm gonna learn you how to play Guild Wars 2 super smooth with a controller. So you might have been asking, how can I play Guild Wars 2 with a controller now that the Steam Deck is soon coming? Can I have support for that? Can we actually use controller at all in Guild Wars, and how smooth is it? And I have the answer for that question. Yes, you can play with a controller and it is super smooth. But you can't do it out of the box. You actually need Steam, which is why you can see on the screen right now we have Steam just over there, we have the game just down there, and we have a controller also. In this case, in this video, I'm going to use my Xbox Series S, or well, XS, that's the same controller, for that purpose. I actually also have a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which is also very helpful. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use controller for Guild Wars 2 and how to get a profile in, so you can actually use the controller. So first of all, let's get to it. So when you open up Steam, the first thing you have to do is you need to add Guild Wars 2 as a non-Steam game. So you click down here in the left corner of Steam and say add non-Steam game, where you will see different programs coming up on the list here. Then you scroll down, you can see boom, 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 boom. There you take, you check mark Guild Wars 2 and say add selected program. Now you will see down here that you get Guild Wars 2, which looks very default. And I'm gonna guess like 9 out of 10 of you, when you click play, it's going to give you this error here and saying failed to launch Guild Wars 2. The reason for that is because you need to right click and say properties and direct it to the right shortcut file. Right now you can see it's looking for the program here, the short file, the exe file, in the wrong direction. I'm not having Guild Wars 2 in this 860 or 86 folder, so you have to say browse, go up, find the right folder. In my case, it's down here in program files, down in Guild Wars 2, and then I have the file there, open. There you go. Now you can see it is called Guild Wars 2, and it also, I browse to the right file, which means if I click play now, it will boot up the game. Just a quick tip, if you want to make the game look like this, so it actually looks nice, you can go in here, right click on the banner here, say set custom banner, background, set custom logo, and then you can actually just add whichever picture you want. It's totally up to you. So that's a really nice feature. Once you've added the logo, you can also right click and say adjust logo position, and then you can choose if it should be in the bottom here, top here, mid here, in the corner, and then you can make it like as big as small as you want and say done. So now you can see I have Guild Wars 2, a nice banner, and so on. So that is the first step. Add Guild Wars 2 to Steam. First step, boom. Second step is go to Steam, top left corner, go to settings, and now it is very important, as I'm saying, it's very important that you first go to in-game and you enable this one here saying use the big picture overlay when using a Steam input enable controller from the desktop. This is allowing you to see stuff on your screen when you're, for example, changing profile with your controller, when using, like, there's a lot of cool things you can do with the controller settings in Steam, but if you don't have this enabled, you basically can't see all the stuff. Like if you're switching skill bar profiles, so you can use all your skills in different profiles, then it won't like give you feedback that you have actually changed the profile. You could also just open up Steam in big picture mode and run the game, it would be the same, but this is just so you don't have to run big picture mode. And basically this is also auto-enabled when you play on Steam Link through your TV, iPad, phone, and Steam Deck in the future. So I highly recommend put this on. Then you have to go down to controller. You have to go to general controller settings. We'll try again. Click on general controller settings, and boom. This is what is supposed to open up. Sometimes these control options are a bit messy and you have to close Steam and open again. So what I recommend, as you can see right now, it's very important. Enable your controller, like turn it on, connect it through USB or Bluetooth, and then when you go into this option here, general control settings, again controller, general control settings, then you will see here that guide, button, focus, Steam should be on. It's fine. then you need to enable what profile you're using. Are you using a PlayStation controller? Are you using Xbox controller? Are you using a Switch Pro controller? Or generate gamepad configuration? So in my case, because I'm using an Xbox controller and sometimes a Nintendo controller, I have to enable Xbox and Switch Pro. It's also important that you enable Xbox Extended Future and Nintendo Extended. What it actually does, it allows you to use this button here, which is the screenshot button, and I can actually, I don't use it for screenshots, I'm using it actually for opening up menus. So instead of using one of the other keys for it, I can now use that one to, for example, open up the main menu or enable and disable action cam, stuff like that. So it's really cool. So this is important. See that your controller is connected here, and then enable the profile for your whichever controller you're using. So, and you have to do this or else it's not gonna work very well. Then we will, of course, the next step is that we're going to boot up Guild Wars 2. So I clicked on the play button and it booted up Guild Wars 2. I just skipped because else it would have shown my email. And now you can see, because it has checkmarked auto run, it just booted up directly Guild Wars 2. So basically, just went to Steam, click play, it opens up the normal launcher, and there you go. So now, what we can do is we can log into a character. In this case, we're going to log into my main, which is a Necromancer Reaper. And again, just while we're loading in, short recap. First, we added this game, non-Steam game, to Steam. Then we went up to settings, controller, enable big picture mode in the game, enable control settings, you know, the profile for your controller. And then we went to boot up the game and logged in. So now you can see I'm having Steam here. I can even click Shift Tab, and you can see I'm actually having this picture mode now, which is really good for controllers. It's only showing this way here when you actually have a controller enabled. So as you can see now, if I open up, click up here, and run around now, you can see I'm playing. You can see in the top left corner of this down here, you can see I'm moving down my controller around. I can jump, I can dodge, I can mount up, fly around, dodge around, you know, I can literally do all the stuff you would be able to do as a PC player. I can even attack with my spells. I can switch profile. You can see there it says page 2. So now I can start using one of my other spells over there. There's 7, 8, 9, and even 0. I can switch back to the profile again, and, you know, literally play the entire game. I see I can like switch weapon. I can use my Lich form, which is F1. We can also open up the map, auto run, mount up. I can't remember what I actually set the lower button on. We'll see that. And then if I hold down the middle one, it's opening up options. So you can see there's like thousands of different possibilities to do with this controller here, and it runs very well. So. And of course, I can also disable action mode, which then gives me the mouse here, which I then can, you know, I can use my like left click, so I can like open up my guild menu. I can open up PvP. You know, you could literally open up whatever hero equipment. So you can see you don't need like think about key bindings for all this, because you can just disable action cam and basically play around. But you're probably thinking now, okay, but this is not working for me. Why is it working for you? Because you need a profile. And how you do that is, again, you click on Shift Tab in the game here. Then you can see control configurations. And now you can see I'm running Dvalin's Guild Wars 2 Necromancer config. You could use this for all classes. The only thing that is like unique for this one here is when you press on this menu button here, then it uses F1, which is basically, you know, the Lich form, the darkness form for Necromancers. So if you're playing, for example, a Guardian, you could, it wouldn't make a difference. Like, it would be the same. And I have page 1 and page 2, so you know, when I press my this one here, I think it's called LT, isn't it called LT? I can't even see it, but yeah, I think it's this one here up here. You can see this one up here. Then it switches to page 2, and the only difference that is between page 1 and page 2 is literally, you can see here that I'm using the spells on the other side. So when I'm on page 1, I'm using my weapon spells, and when I'm page 2, I'm using my class spells, and I literally just have to trigger that trigger, you know, trigger up here. I just have to trigger that one, and then it switches between the skills I'm using. So easy. You don't even have like it's very fast to switch between that, so it's not gonna do anything. So, but the profile I made here is really, really, really good for combat. You're gonna love it. And you can see how I've actually made two profiles here. I've made one for Xbox Series X controllers and Nintendo Pro controller. If you don't have either Xbox Series X or a Nintendo Pro controller, it doesn't matter. You can still pick my profiles and you can still apply them. It will tell you that it's not for the right controller. It doesn't matter. Maybe some of the key bindings here is not going to be the same as I have here, but just change them, modify them. So look at my screen right now and see on your PlayStation controller that it should pretty much like be almost exactly the same, because PlayStation and Xbox controller are still kind of the same, even with the Nintendo Switch. The only thing I had to do with the Nintendo Switch when I made the other profile was that I had to jump, build a switch around the spell 5 and jump, you know, because on Nintendo, basically the confirm button is where you have B on the Xbox controller. So yeah. So what you do here is you click on Browse Configs. Then you will see here the community, and you can see there's a lot of different profile here that people have made for Guild Wars 2. So what you can do here now is you can say, you can go to this page here and you can see the profiles people have most been using. You can also see show other control types, and it's going to show you like other control types that mates for. Yeah. Or show just the control type you have. There. Hide other controls. What I personally did was I took this one here, Guild Wars 2 Necro Warrior 043, and I basically took his profile. You know, you click on it and then you click apply configuration. So again, let's do that one more time. So you go into the game, shift tab, controller configurations, then you say browse configs, you say community. I am going to publish my profile too, so I highly recommend that you actually find my profile and use that one, because it's going to be really good. My dear friend Blackout, he's Blackout Gaming, he's also going to make a profile which is going to be even more advanced than mine. He's going to have like rail works, you know, his profile is going to be really strong also. So you can use my profile, which is just very quick and made for combat, or you can also use my friend's Blackout Gaming's profile, which is going to be very focused on a lot of things. Like you can change between mounts and stuff like that. I'll leave down a link to his controller video, and I'm gonna leave also down to my controller settings and his control settings, and then you can play around with it. But again, go to the list here, see if you can find Dvalin's configuration. If you can't, you can also take this guy here, this Necro Warrior, and basically copy it and make your own adjustments. But I highly recommend, if you can find mine on this list, I'm going to try publish it today, then I recommend you try that one. It should be good. But again, click on the profile you want, say apply configuration, and now you can see that we are exactly going to play with what he made. And you can see here he's not really explaining what's going on the different buttons. That's all right, that's how it is. But again, if you like find the one I have, then you can see I'm actually explaining on all the different buttons what I'm doing, like mount, auto run, healing, spell, and different pages. It's even going to tell like the person where they can find the real guide for this controller, apply configuration. So once you find the configuration here, if you have clicked apply, click done, you go back to the game, and now you can see you can run around. It still feels a bit bad, but that's because you have to enable action cam. So my profile basically is using the command. You can see if we go back to my profile, you can see I'm using these keybinds, literally X, R, M, F, all these things. So if you are using different key bindings, you either have to click in here and literally change these, or you could just change your in-game settings key bindings. You just need to, because I'm literally not directly connected to the game, I'm just using the key bindings and then my key binding. But I'm using the default key bindings in the game. I haven't changed anything, so it should be easy for you to like work out with it if you're using default key bindings, or else it's gonna be a bit messy for you. But again, in here you can see here that I have here on this screenshot button, I actually have two things. It does two things at the same time. If you click fast, it's going to enable and disable action cam, and if you hold it down, it's going to use the menu, like menu button. So we're going to try that. You can see right now I have my mouse, I can move around and I can click on different stuff and so on. But now we're going to click one time on my menu button, and there you go. Now you can see we're playing the game. It feels pretty smooth. you know, I can do all the things that I could on my PC. Well, I'm still playing on the PC, but still, literally, now you can enable Steam Link, and you can go down to your TV and play this on your TV if you want to, or you can play it on your iPad, your mobile, whatever you want. Again, also when it comes out to Steam Deck, and you use, so yeah, there's like 100 guides on how you install it on Steam Decks, then you can literally use also my profile if you want to, or some other one else maybe made a better profile, because the Steam Deck controller might gonna be a bit different from Xbox controllers. We don't know. But again, this is a controller guide. I've shown you now how to enable the controllers, how to get into configuration, and pretty much, yeah. So again, you can also see down there what buttons I'm using. So you can see this one here. My L2 is supposed to like change profile. It worked a moment ago, but oh, it still works. There we go. So you can see every time I press on this one, it's changing my profiles. So you can see right now, if I use my Y, it's using my 4, then I switch profile, and now it's using my 9. So it's basically using the same positions. You just have to like get a use for it. But you can see I can use all my spells. It's just switching both. So every time I click on this one here, it switches between the mid spells, like the left spells, and the right spells. And then I have on, when I click on the dongle here, I believe, no, actually when I click on the start button here, it uses my Lich form. When I click on this one here, it uses my healing. And again, I can click like up. What had I set my down button to? Oh yeah, that's interact. Yeah. My down button, you can see in the left corner I'm pressing right now, is interact. So if I want to like talk with someone or enable something, like you can see we can go to this window here. But then normally you have to press F. But if I use my interact button down, you can see now it knows up here. I can like talk with them, do whatever I want, go to the cross here up in the corner, or click on the menu button, close it, and back to the game. So yeah, I can literally do anything in the game with playing it with a controller. I don't need a keyboard. The only thing why I would need a keyboard is for like chatting. So of course I can still press enter. Actually, I can't do that. I need to then take my mouse here, click. Huh. Oh yeah. Do you have to disable controller mode? There we go. Okay, well I'm just gonna click down in the chat. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, now it works again. It's probably a little bit, you know, like, so the only, you can say, disadvantage you're having with playing controller is of course you can't really chat at the same time, because that wouldn't work very well. You could probably also disable action cam, go down here, click on the chat, and now you can type on the keyboard. Yeah, that actually also works out. But again, this guide here was mostly for showing you how to enable controller, how to use it in Guild Wars 2, and I can now play this game perfectly. And again, if you want to try out Guild Wars 2 with a controller and you don't know a profile, I highly recommend you, again, go for the profiles I have here, Dvalin's Guild Wars 2 Necromancer configs. And again, browse config, go to community, find my config here, or do what I did. I took this guy here and changed his config, you know, around. And again, there will also be my friend's config, which is going to be called something with Blackouts Gaming. And his config is also going to be even more advanced than me. I'm going to leave down a link to his video also. Once he's done it, haven't done it yet, but you know, it's probably coming. But thanks for watching, everyone. It was a pleasure making this video. And again, this was a quick guide on how to play Guild Wars 2 with a controller, which requires Steam, but pretty cool. And also a little addition is that your friends can actually see you playing Guild Wars 2 when you are, when you are playing it through Steam. So when people go to your profile, actually they can see here that you're playing Guild Wars 2, which is fun to show if you want to show you like your Steam friends. Thanks for watching, have a great evening, and I'll see you in another video. Peace out.